Hi guys. So in my promise to keep up with weekly videos, I realized that I'm week short. So here's my promise to you to keep one video a week promise. So today, as I was reading this book called Good to Great, I came over a chapter talking about information. And it dawned on me that success runs on information. And I'm not just talking about any information. I'm talking about independent, unadulterated information that applies to you or your situation or whatever it is that you're trying to do, or your group of people, or your organization. So being successful means being in the right place at the right time. How many times have you heard that, right? But here's the tricky question. How do you know you're in the right place? How do you know that you're there at the right time? And the answer to that question really is information. How do you know that you have the right information? So you might hear the word on the street that a large corporation is hiring, but what are they hiring for? And when are the interviews starts? And how do you know that you have the qualifications to even sit down for an interview? Or let's go to the timing issue. How do you know when it's the right time, or when to call, or when they shut down the acceptance period for new applications? Or if you're starting a business, how do you know that there is a high demand of, let's say, N95 masks during this epidemic? How do you know that you can even get the N95 mask? And how do you know that you can have the relationships for both parties to make any type of money out of the deal? All these inquiries and questions are forms of information. And I urge you guys to be vigilant in regards to where do you get your information from? Oftentimes you hear people, they watch CNBC, they watch CNN News, Fox News, they read their local newspaper, they're reading all kinds of information, but really there's no filter. Or how do you know that the writer who's wrote that column or the newscaster that's on TV even did a great job of vetting? And oftentimes what I realize that every few years I change where I get my information sources from. Okay, period. No matter who it is. Because depending on the shareholders, depending on the CEO, depending on the climate of the country, that type of information is changed, or it has a slant to it to feed some type of purpose. And we all do it, right? I mean, how many times are we're in a relationship and if you forget to mention that we didn't get the milk from the grocery store, or that we're coming down, we're gonna be right down for dinner 30 minutes ago, and we said we was coming on the elevator or downstairs, right? For the women out there. And not to say there's anything wrong with that. All I'm saying is, if we want to be successful, you have to understand where to get your information, make sure it's valid information, and apply the information. So we always tell people that we want them to be truthful and be quote unquote real with us. But do we create an environment where people can be real with us? Because let's be truthful, that's one of the ways that we get information about ourselves, about our lives, or where we want to go in life. So if we want to be a better spouse, or we're letting our spouse be open to communication in regards to us, or we letting our business partners or law partners or whatever partners be real with us. And I want to be clear with this. Being real and being direct and being unadulterated does not give anybody a license to just be buttholes. What I mean by that, you often hear people say, I'm be real with you, and that's often behind that statement comes a lot of derogatory statements, talking about hitting below the belts, and rarely nothing is ever accomplished in those types of situations. So for me, when I'm talking about success runs on information, you have to know where you are and where you want to go and how to get there. And oftentimes, the road of success is traveled by many people in different ways, but if you want to become a CEO of a company, chances are, unless you're a startup, there's been plenty of CEOs beforehand. And if you just reach out to them, and hopefully they don't feel a threat, especially if they're the sitting CEO, they're probably going to tell you and give you unadulterated advice on how to become the CEO, or why they become the CEO, or why you probably should be the CEO. Because sometimes we think that we want to be somewhere that we really don't, right? Sometimes we want to be that high level executive, but then want to party all weekend and get mad when somebody posts stuff on social media about you. Well, here's the thing. If you want to be a high level executive CEO type or vice president of a large corporation, chances are you're not going to be able to go partying wild every night or every weekend, where 18-year-olds, 25-year-olds are going to be hanging and all they do is Snapchat, Facebook Live, Instagram stories, and stuff like that. And once again, I don't want you to feel like there's anything wrong with it. However, if you have to know where you want to go. You have to know where you want to be in life. And in order to do that, you have to be seeking information. And information and advice are, to me, same thing. Advice is just information slanted to where you're trying to go and trying to achieve your goals. So when I talk about success runs on information, I'm not only talking about what's the deficits and the great things that are going on with you, your great qualities and characteristics. It's also about, well, where you want to go. What's your end result? But also it's how do you get from where you are now to where you want to be? And like I just said, that CEOs would tell you, a lot of times would tell you the path that they took. And we have to be understanding that that is a form of information. But also, once again, like I said about the news outlet, you have to be careful where you get your information from. Because if you don't vet your information source, what ends up happening is you're running on false information, then you get false results and false consequences. That you sit there, hindsight, looking crazy and trying to figure out, man, what the hell happened? Like, I asked such and such, I asked John on his advice on getting to the next level or increasing internet sales or developing courses, or from a legal standpoint, I can tell you how many times I've had clients walk in and say, hey, they were with one lawyer, and the reason why they called me, matter of fact, I have a call today, where another lawyer just pretty much botched up their case. Where there's no communication, where there's no reaching out to anybody. And I think we have to be diligent, especially as individuals who are mover and shakers, executives, business owners, because the threshold to say you're a business owner, or the threshold to say you're a lawyer or a CPA or whatever it is lower than it once was. And obviously, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be a lawyer, but I think when you have individuals or other lawyers or other CPAs or other medical doctors who are more careless with the lives that have been trusted with them with their service, you have to start asking yourself, are you doing the right thing? Are you in the right profession? Once again, this goes back to information, right? Some people are in profession for just the money. Some people are just doing things because that's what they've been told to do. And oftentimes you can't just tell off of just initial talk with them. All you have to do is look at their behavior. And I always tell my youngest sister, with dating, you can always tell a tree based on the fruit that it bears. And so for me, I think it's important to know that success runs on information, but you have to know where you're getting your information from. Guys, I hope this helped you. Please like, share, comment, post. Even if I'm doing bad, if you got a bad review, don't post it, but always DM me. Follow me at GetRice, GETRICE, now, NOW. All platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Have a great day.